Question: what is the right way to help a child grow without interfering in his natural potentiality? Answer: the right way is not to help the child in the right way. The right way is not to help the child at all. If you have real courage, then please don't help the child. Love him, nourish him. Let him do what he wants to do. Let him go where he wants to go. Your mind will be tempted again to interfere, and with good excuses. Your real concern should be to remove all dangers. But don't interfere with the child. You will have to understand some significant growth patterns. Life has 7-year circles, it moves in 7-year circles. Just as the Earth makes on rotation on its axis in 24 hours. Now nobody knows why not 25, why not 23. There is no way to answer it, it is simply a fact. Earth takes 365 days to make one round of the sun. Why 365? Nobody knows, nobody needs to know. And it doesn't make any difference. So don't ask me why life moves in 7-year circles. I don't know. And if you understand those 7-year circles, you will understand a great deal about human growth. The first 7 years are the most important, because the foundation of life is being laid. That's why all the religions are very much concerned about grabbing children as quickly as possible. All religions have their own ways. Those first 7 years are the years when you are conditioned, stuffed with all kinds of ideas, which will go on haunting you your whole life, which will go on distracting you from your potentiality, which will corrupt you, which will never allow you to see clearly. They will always come like clouds before your eyes. They will make everything confused. Things are clear, very clear, existence is absolutely clear. But your eyes have layers upon layers of dust. And all that dust has been arranged in the first 7 years of your life. When you were so innocent, so trusting, that whatsoever you were told you accepted as truth. And whatsoever has gone into your foundation, later on, it will be very difficult for you to find. It has become almost part of your blood, bones, your very marrow. You will ask 1,000 other questions. But you will never ask about the basic foundations of your belief. The first expression of love toward the child is to leave his first 7 years absolutely innocent. You conditioned to leave him for 7 years completely wild, a pagan. There is no inner necessity that the son should agree with the father. In fact, it seems far better that he should not agree. That's how evolution happens. If every child agrees with the father, then there will be no evolution, because the father will agree with his own father. So everybody will be where God left Adam and Eve naked, outside the gate of the Garden of Eden. Everybody will be there. Because sons have disagreed with their fathers. Forefathers, with their whole tradition, man has evolved. This whole evolution is a tremendous disagreement with the past. The more intelligent you are, the more you are going to disagree. But parents appreciated the child. Who agrees they condemn the child who disagrees. Up to 7 years, if a child can be left innocent, uncorrupted by the ideas of others, then to distract him from his potential growth becomes impossible. The child's first 7 years are the most vulnerable. And they are in the hands of parents, teachers, priests. It is not a question of helping the child. It is the question of protecting the child. At least up to 7 years, protect him. Protect the child from every kind of influences so that he can remain himself. And it is only a question of 7 years. Because then the first circle will be complete. By 7 years, he will be well grounded, centered, strong enough. You don't know how strong a 7-year-old child can be. Because you have not seen uncorrupted children, you have seen only corrupted children. They carry the fears, the cowardliness, of their fathers, mothers, their families. They are not their own selves. If a child remains uncorrupted for 7 years, you will be surprised to meet such a child. He will be as sharp as a sword. His eyes will be clear, his insight will be clear. And you will see a tremendous strength in him, which you cannot find even in a 70-year-old adult, because the foundations are shaky. So in fact, as the building goes on, becoming higher and higher, the more and more shaky it becomes. So you will see, the older a person becomes, the more afraid. When he is young, he may be an atheist. When he becomes old, he starts believing in God. Why is that? When he is below 30, he is a hippie. He has courage to go against the society, to behave in his own way, to have long hair, to have a beard, to roam around the world, to take all kinds of risks. But by the time he is 40, all that has disappeared. You will see him in some office in a gray suit, clean-shaven, well-groomed. You will not even be able to recognize that he is an ex-hippie. Where have all the hippies disappeared to? Suddenly you see them with a great force. Then, just like used bullet cases, empty cartridges, impotent, defeated, depressed. Trying to make something out of life. Feeling that all those years of hippiedom were a wastage. Others have gone far ahead. Somebody has become the governor, and we were stupid. We were just playing the guitar and the whole world passed us by. They repent. It is really difficult to find an old hippie. If you are a parent, you will need much courage not to interfere. Open doors of unknown directions to the child so he can explore. He does not know what he has in him, nobody knows. He has to grope in the dark. Don't make him afraid of darkness, don't make him afraid of failure. Don't make him afraid of the unknown. Give him support. When he is going on an unknown journey, send him with all your support, with all your love, with all your blessings. After 7 years, the next circle of 7 years, from 7 to 14, is a new addition to life. The child's first stirring of sexual energies. But they are only a kind of rehearsal. To be a parent is a difficult job. So unless you are ready to take that difficult job, don't become a parent. You are bringing a life into existence. All the care in the world will be needed. Those 7 years, the second circle in life, are significant as a rehearsal. They will meet, mix, play, become acquainted. And that will help humanity to drop almost 90% of perversions. If the children from 7 to 14 are allowed to be together, to swim together, 90% of perversions and 90% of pornography will simply disappear. Who will bother about it? When a boy has known so many girls, I don't see that there is any possibility of curiosity about the other. It will simply disappear. They will grow together naturally, not as 2 different species of animals. Right now that's how they grow, as 2 different species of animals. They don't belong to one mankind, they are kept separate. 1,001 barriers are created between them. So they cannot have any rehearsal of their sexual life which is going to come. Because this rehearsal is missing, that's why in people's actual sex life foreplay is missing. And foreplay is so important, far more important than actual sexual contact. Because actual sexual contact lasts only for seconds. It is not nourishment. It simply leaves you in a limbo. You were hoping for so much, and nothing comes out of it. In Hindi we have a proverb, Kila Pahad Nikli Chubia. You dug out the whole mountain and you found one rat. After all the effort going to the movies, and going to the disco and going to the restaurant, and talking all kinds of nonsense, which neither you want nor the other wants to do, but both are talking, digging the mountain, and in the end, just a rat. Nothing is so frustrating as sex. The reason is that you don't know the art of sex, you know only the middle part. It is as if you see a film just in the middle for a few seconds. Naturally, you can't make any sense of it. The beginning is missing, the end is missing. Perhaps you simply saw the interval where there was nothing. It was simply something bothering you. You are finished with that botheration, there is a little relaxation. That's the sexual life of most people in the world. Some energy was bothering you, was making you heavy. It was turning into a headache. Sex gives you a relief. But the way children are brought up is almost butchering their whole life. Those 7 years of sexual rehearsal are absolutely essential. A very strange world it is in which you are living. You are born of sex, you will live for sex. Your children will be born out of sex, and sex is the most condemned thing, the greatest sin. And all the religions go on putting this crap in your mind.